Are you listening?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Morning, everybody.
Got me some tea this morning.
Got some tea for your MTG.
Right. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy. Oh, man, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Yes,
It is.
It's an awesome day because Superfast and Hillbilly are present.
Oh, yeah. Ever present. Ever known. So amazing.
So, Cootie Doo, I want to ask you this. What is today's topic?
Today's topic is help Dad with the Commander deck.
His dad got his new Commander deck.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to show the Commander?
Sure. Show that Commander.
All right. Here's the Commander.
Can you blow them up super fast?
Yeah, you might want to turn that around too.
Oh, okay. So that light is shining on it.
Yeah, can't hardly see it.
Shining. Bright and shining.
Let me get that light off of here. Maybe you can see it.
Take it out of the plastic. Take it out of the plastic. That might help it.
Okay.
Well, it's sleeved and in a hard case.
Oh yeah, that'll make some glare big time.
All right. So let me take it out of the main sleeve. Maybe if I can. Okay, so this is out of the main sleeve.
Ooh. There you go. That's better.
Yeah, it's
not much better. Yeah, let me do something. Hang on for just a minute. Hang on.
Right. While Dad's doing that, we're going to just show a little bit for Cardsartopia.
Nice.
You want sweet Magic Gathering dice bags, dice boxes, or how about some neat lapel pins to add to your collection? Go to Cardsartopia for some amazing high quality product. And what some lapel pins look like? Well, you got this really sweet salty one. I love that one. And the sarcasm one. Boop boop. Beep doop.
Boop boop.
And the skull with a
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's cool. So, where can you find that at? At cardsartopia.com. That's right.
Okay. I don't know if I can. That help?
Pretty cool. That helps a lot.
Yep.
Well, you can't even read the.
Hold on. Give me a second. I can fix this. Boop, 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 boop. I'm dreaming of a magic Christmas. Oh, it's a magical Christmas indeed.
Where I win all the games.
There you go. Look at that.
Kaalia the Vast is Dad's newest commander. Newest by meaning it's the first one he's received so far. Cost a generic, a red, a white, a black. It's a 2/2 legendary creature, human cleric with flying. And whenever Kaalia the Vast attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking that opponent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whenever you may put an angel, a demon, a dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped.
Right.
So
That's
tap means go ahead.
one of those on the battlefield: an angel, or a demon, or a dragon.
Yep.
So tap means that it's ready to go. If it's untapped, you can't use it, right?
No, tap means it's sideways on the battlefield, described as attacking or used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at
So yeah, look at that. I have my revenge.
Mhm.
I have to call on every force from above.
So let's say you're playing a commander game with super fast or me. You have this on the battlefield. You have a 6/6 dragon in your hand that costs 8 mana.
Mhm.
And you only have 5 mana on the battlefield, which is land. You attack with this. You can play that 6/6 creature that costs 8 mana for free.
Yep.
Free.
Your deck's
Yeah.
chock full of dragons, angels, and demons, so you
I
can
like
attack,
free.
so you can try to pump them out and attack for free.
Right.
So these cards, where are they? So these cards, the ones that are now, what are the ones that are not in sleeves?
Yeah, the ones that are not in the green sleeves are extra cards that could be used as upgrades or just your own personal collection.
Okay.
The cards I
don't
was
know what
debating,
upgrade
some
means.
cards that took out as upgrading it or trying to find places. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
okay.
so you got to start your own collection.
Nice.
Okay. Nice. So I'm not very good at holding. But these are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So these are the backup.
Hmm.
Okay, so here is the one. This one is the backup. Upgrade. Oh, you got a lot of them in here. Woohoo!
Whoop, 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 indeed.
So now, this is the first one in the sleeve.
Right. While you're doing that, I'm going to shout out to people in chat as you're trying to pull that out. Yeah, Mrs. Hillbilly. Hello, Mrs. Hillbilly. Welcome, welcome. Whoop, whoop. James Willis. Whoop, whoop. James Willis. Hello.
What's that?
Dreglar. All right. D. Lawson. Woo.
What's up, guys?
D. Lawson. What's
We got
up?
Darc Raven. Yes, and we just shielded out your stuff not too long ago. All right. All right. Now you can.
Okay, so these ones are in the sleeves, and this is a sorcery. I don't know if you can read it. I'm sorry. I'll figure out how to do that.
Sorceries you can only play during your turn.
That's right.
So this is a sorcery, and yeah, it's no, I can't read it. Ransack the lab. Ransack the lab. Sorcery. So I think this is. So it has. This is a 1 mana.
All right.
It has a 1 in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
One in
mana.
a tree, that means it's cost 1 generic and 1. A total of 2.
So these are. I was trying to figure out what color these are. Green or.
Well, let me show us again, because there should not really be green cards in that collection. If there is, that's an oopsie on me.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it could be black, or I have no color. Or
just show me the card. There you go.
That's a black.
That's black. Just mono black. It's a skull on there.
Black.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mono black. All right. It's a sorcery card. Ooh.
Sorcery.
I wish I could. Wish I could get some light on here. I apologize to everybody, but I thought it would show up good. Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody, but
Don't be sorry.
I can do now.
You're learning to be a professional YouTuber.
That's right.
Okay.
We've all been in your shoes starting out.
Yeah. So on the back is black.
So that's
Back
not
and black.
So that's probably not in the deck if it's in a black sleeve.
Okay. And the other one is in a black sleeve.
So if I remember correctly, I thought the deck was all in green sleeves.
No, they're on black. Unless
Okay,
I'm colorblind.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Like, flip over that card. Oh, no, that's in the deck. All right. No, I was wrong. Well, maybe I'm colorblind.
Succumb to temptations. An instant.
Instant,
So
you can play that anytime. You can play it during your turn or your opponent's turn.
That is right. Look at here, Billy. Teaching like he's preaching.
You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 lives. Let me see. It says restraint is for the weak. Okay.
I think that's flavor text.
Yeah. Yeah, flavor text is always italicized and doesn't tell you what to do. It just kind of gives you a weird explanation or description of something.
It's kind of like a little. It's kind of like a little story in the card.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Okay.
For sure.
Let's see here.
Yeah, it's a story on a story about the card.
All right.
Story about the card. Okay. Well, here's another one from the deck. This is Inferno of the Star Mounts.
Ooh.
A legendary creature dragon.
Inferno of the Star Mounts. That's one of my favorite dragons from that set.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, that's the picture, but the text you can't read, but he can bring it up probably.
It costs 6 mana. It's a 6/6 flyer. It can't be countered, and it has fire breathing. That's all you really need to know. Then it has flying.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
nice.
Yeah. 6/6. Fire breathing.
Fire breathing is where you pay red, and and it gives a +1/+0 until turn.
And your commander will help you play that card for free.
Yeah.
So this is a red card, I believe.
Yeah, that is correct.
And up the top it has 4 and 2. I don't know what they are. Like
They're little fireballs for red.
Oh, okay. So is that 4 + 2, 6?
Yeah, that's 4 + 2. Yep, that is correct. Look at you learning. Look at you. So proud. So proud of my daddy-os becoming an adult, watching him grow up.
Yay.
Pretty soon we'll teach you how to ride a bike.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
This spell cannot be countered. Flying haste. Okay, that's a good card then.
Yes.
Just like if I had a blue card that says counter target creature spell, you play that creature. My card that says counter target creature spell will not work against that card.
Right.
Ooh,
it's pretty cool. All right,
it's awesome. So let me see. We got creature Hellkite Igniter.
Ooh.
Red card, 5, 7 mana. It's 5, 5, 5. Let's see if I show you the picture here.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
That's a pretty banging card.
Yeah.
You got the text box covered. There you go. Look at flying haste, fire breathing. Boop boop.
Boop, boop. So it's
Only thing
So
you need to learn what fire breathing is.
No, fire breathing is when you pay red on a creature and it gives a +1/+0 until in turn, and you can do it over and over again to pump it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
that means it gets +1/+1 counters to end a turn.
Well, not counters.
Well,
so let's not confuse them. It's just a static. It's just an ability that activates for till end of turn.
Yeah, I'm not trying. Yeah, well, I'm not trying to confuse them. I mean, it's kind of like +1/+1 counters until end of turn.
Right. Kind of.
well,
yeah.
Because they lose at the end of the turn.
This is a Hellkite Igniter gets +X /+0
Right.
until the end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control.
Oh,
So
that's a weird one. Oh, okay, I forgot about that one. That's neat. So there's artifacts in your deck to help you ramp. So you pay the activated ability in the text box, and it gets +X/+0 equal to those artifacts. Because color fixing is important. Thank you to Sir Willis in chat, who got you a couple cards for that deck. Well, he actually helped out a lot with that deck. He sent me lands a long time ago that were awesome, and I put them in that deck to help you fix your land base. But also, just so you can have this deck, he sent me a Lightning Greaves, which protects your creatures. You'll learn that later. And he sent an Arcane Signet. So you got good artifacts in there to make that pretty decent.
So instant you can play anytime. The creatures you can only play with land. Is that to put a spell on it?
What?
A creature, you need a land to create a spell, or
right? That cost up top where it has the numbers and the two symbols.
Yeah.
That's the mana value or converted mana cost. That's how many lands you need to use to play that spell.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
All right, and that's why Kaalia the Vast is important for this deck, because she tries to help you cheat those big cards into play.
Okay. So that's that one I just saw is Scale Lord Reckoner, and it's 3. What are the little stars?
Stars are representative. Yeah, this is something you need to learn because people will play a lot of these. So stars are in place of numbers that can change. So if you read the text box, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of the card?
Scale Lord Reckoner. It has 3 and 2 stars, and so it says it's a creature, it's dragon, flying. Whenever a dragon you control becomes the target of a spell.
Oh, never mind. Okay. All right. Scale Reckoner costs 3 generic and 2 white. I'm not going to download every picture to pop it up because that would be too tough.
Right.
3 mana, 2 white. It's a 4/4 creature dragon. Whenever a dragon control becomes a target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, destroy target non-land permanent that player controls.
Nice.
Okay.
He helps protect your board from removal.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to go through all the cards. I'm just picking out a few here and there.
Yeah, I got deck as easy as possible to pilot and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, Richie Dubs? Richie Dubs, we're going through Daddy-O's deck a little, but you're lucky because right now I had a card of the day selected. We're going to cover that as Dad looks through his deck a little and finds, because I want you to ask questions about your deck. But really quick, the card of the day.
Okay.
Is Circu Demir Lobotomist. This is a personal favorite of mine.
Demir, the botanist.
Right?
Ooh.
He's a legendary
Okay.
creature, human wizard, 2/3. Whenever you play a blue spell, you may remove the top card of target library from the game. Whenever you play a black spell, remove the top card of target library from the game. Your opponents can't play non-land cards with the same name as the card removed from the game with Circu, Demir, Lobotomist.
Ooh.
This pretty much would have to go against the mirror match.
Yeah, that'd be nuts. But no, the reason why this is good is because if this is a commander of your deck, every spell you play is exiling cards. If somehow you bounce your opponent's commander to the top of their library and they let it go there and you cast them and play them, they can't play that card for the rest of the game.
So it's 2 blue and
2 generic.
So what's your generic? You got a skull and a water.
A generic mana can be any color. It can be colorless too, because they do have colorless mana, but let's not get too heavy into it. So 2 mana can be any color. But 2 of the mana used to cast a spell has to be a blue and a black.
Has to be a blue. Okay.
So this costs 4 mana total.
Okay. I got that. And it's 2/3.
Yeah, the power is 2, so it deals 2 damage, and it can take up to 3 damage.
Okay. Yeah. All right. It's slowly sinking in.
Slowly, it will sink in. You're good. So that's why I want you to ask questions about your deck. But I got two pictures of the day. First one was brought to us by Tybalt. Boom.
Yeah.
Dad's showing other dads their TCG player shopping cart. Like, look at the card they're gonna buy. Like they're impressed by it. Woo woo. That's funny.
Woo-woo.
Thank you, Paul, for sharing that picture.
That's good.
All right. And the next one I saw on Facebook last night, and I'm like, that's perfect. Boom.
Coffee. There's more coffee. Yeah.
That's me in the morning sometimes.
Yeah. That's me too sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right.
So, for me, this is a artifact.
Yeah, whoa, it's a soul ring. Everybody knows the soul ring. 1 mana artifact that taps for 2 colorless mana.
Okay.
That's like in every commander deck about.
Yep.
Soul ring artifact. Okay.
Yeah.
Add lost to time in the artificer's art of trapping light from the distant star in a ring of purest gold. Huh. And this is 1 mana. So it's just 1. And I don't know
that's
what
1
color.
mana.
It's black. I think it's a black code. Alrighty. So you got anything else to share with the people, or you just want to keep on doing my cards? I don't mind.
I want you to ask your questions. This is a good time for you to start asking the newbie questions that you want to know and learn.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look through your cards, kind of get familiar with the deck and get some help.
Yep.
Okay. So I have a deck, and you can only play 7 cards at a time.
1 card per turn. You can play
So
a land. You can play 1 land and another card per turn.
Okay.
Well, no, you can play as many cards as you want, as long as you have enough lands to play that card. But you can only play 1 land per turn.
Yep. You can play 1 land per turn unless a card tells you different. But you can play as many spells as you can. You can play as many spells as you want, as long as you have the mana to do so. And the mana comes from the lands you play.
Okay.
And everything is a spell. A creature is a spell. Artifact is a spell. Sorcery is a spell. Instant is a spell.
Mm-hmm. The only
Everything
thing
is
that's not a
spell
spell
with
is a
it.
land.
Yeah. Everything, right. Everything is a spell except for land.
So if you shuffle, because you got to shuffle your cards before you play, correct?
Correct.
And how many? And you can only have 7 cards to play with at first, and you have the deck to pull from,
Correct.
or I don't. So where's the graveyard go?
Graveyard can go right beside your deck.
Okay. And you can't use the graveyard unless a card tells you to.
Correct.
Okay. Uh, I'm still. So how do you draw a card? Does it automatically draw a card after you use one?
You draw. All right. Let's say we're playing. All right. You go. Let's say I go first. I got my 7 cards. I do not draw because I'm going
Okay.
first. Well, then it comes to your turn. After it comes to your turn, then you draw a card.
From the deck,
Yes.
and you add it to your 7 original cards.
You know, as you play a land, then
Okay.
you have 7 cards in your hand. You're only
Okay,
allowed to
I
have 7 cards in your hand at all times.
at all times.
Yep. Now there is cases where you do not have any cards in your hand, and that's called top deck. That's where you play all your cards that you have in your hand, and then you rely on what you get from your deck.
Oh wow. So if you have no cards in your hand, it's your turn. You can draw 7 from the deck, right?
No, if you have no cards in hand, then you're just playing from the top of your deck. You're only allowed to draw 1 card per turn,
Oh wow.
unless another card specifies different.
Wow.
Like you might have a card that says draw 2 cards. Well, you play that card,
Right.
then you draw 2 cards.
And then okay. So how do your cards get into the what's
To the graveyard.
yes.
All right. When you play an instant,
Okay.
after you play the instant, it goes straight to the graveyard. When you play a sorcery, after you play that sorcery, it goes to the graveyard. Now, if you have a creature out, say you have a 1/1 creature and I have a 3/2 creature, I attack you. You block my creature with that 1/1 creature. That 1/1 creature dies, and when it dies, it goes to the graveyard.
Okay. And once the cards in the graveyard, they're dead until a card tells you to pick one, or
Yeah,
you
they're
can't.
they're considered dead unless there's a card that lets you grab stuff from your graveyard.
Okay. So if you have a card that says draw one from the graveyard after you play it or something. I don't know.
So I didn't realize I was on mute. All right.
I was
Okay.
wondering why I was answering all the questions.
Earlier, and you were talking over me. I'm like, well, I guess Hillbilly wants to talk. But really,
I didn't.
I was muted and you didn't hear me.
No,
I didn't realize that. Well, I had to check the door because I thought I had a package delivered.
I'm just answering his questions.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Dad wants to learn.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
artifacts.
Now another artifact. They end up in the graveyard if there's if your opponent has something that says kill artifact.
Yeah.
Then it'll go into the graveyard.
Right. Kind of
Otherwise it stays on the battlefield.
kind of like a blanket statement is artifacts, enchantments, creatures, planeswalkers, which is like one planeswalker in there, I believe. And battles, which there's no battle in that deck. They all stay on the battlefield until they're interacted with another card to remove them from play.
Correct.
I say the word interactive because they can be destroyed by a kill spell, or they could be destroyed in combat via very different things. simple things that you'll learn through complicated steps.
Right.
So it's impossible to get like 7 cards of the same thing in a row, like because you got to shuffle them. But like this right here, because you stack them in the deck, by what they are.
Well,
So
I organized them in a little way because I was
I know.
trying to when I was editing the deck, I was trying to see my options more clear. But you're supposed to shuffle them in a random way. You have to shuffle your deck into random order that you don't know, so you're not cheating or no one thinks you're cheating.
Right.
Okay. Right.
When you shuffle your deck, you're not supposed to look at the front of the cards. You're only supposed to look at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that makes it hard to cheat, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I just pulled out the artifacts, and they're all different.
Every card in there is individual because Commander is an individual card.
Right.
Commander is an individual format, so you can't have the same card with the same name multiple times.
There's 100 different cards.
No. There's 63-ish different cards.
Oh.
The
Well,
basic
yeah, that's
lands
right.
The basic
That's
lands are the only thing you can have the same of.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Basic lands. Okay, the basic lands. Okay, I know what they are. And then you have lands. What's the difference between the basic
Lands are normally lands that tap for multiple colors or have additional abilities. So a basic land is the basic. Like it's a basic land. There's different ways to interact with it, but not to worry about until you get your other deck. That's not going to be super important in this deck.
Okay. Okay, so I'll be getting that tomorrow. I think.
But there are the non-basic lands are there to help fix the coloring of your mana base. So as you play your one land per turn, you want to try to play them in order to get your commander out as soon as possible. So you want your white, you want your red, you want your black, you want your extra.
Just like
So you
put me on for a second, Tortoise.
All right, let me blow you up. Boop.
Just like this card right here, it's a land. I can only have one of these in my commander deck, but it'll tap as a white or a black.
okay?
I can only have one of these in my commander deck because it's not a regular land. It don't tap for either. It taps for one or the other. It don't tap just for one color. If it taps for just one color, it would be a basic land, which by it being a basic land, you can have as many as you need in your deck.
That's right.
So where does commander come in? Does it play first or play last?
The commander, you can play the commander whenever you want. It's just always on the side.
So you don't put it in the deck.
Hand.
So it doesn't go in
your deck. It's
Okay.
not in your deck. I mean, if you want to, when it being interactive, if someone forces you to shuffle it in your deck, you can. But you always have the option to put it in the command zone, so it's always readily available to cast later on.
Okay.
Right.
So where's
You're muted. Hi,
CTG?
CT, dude. You're muted.
Oh, okay. Hello. Good morning. Yeah, I was just trying to help clear up. I don't know. First off, good morning to everybody. Sorry for my
Morning.
lateness. But I'm trying to be a man of my word, and I said I'd be here. So even if I'm late, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so Dad got his new commander deck from me.
Nice.
He got it a
Congratulations.
day early.
Yeah.
And I've given him the floor to ask questions and whatnot so he can learn his commander game, learn as much as possible, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think So
I recall you mentioning you were on Arena recently, that you've started playing Arena, Gucci dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Okay.
I can't make it past I think I can't make it past 4 or 5 plays, and it tells me to make a spell, but I don't know how to make a spell because there's. I mean, I know you need a land and a creature.
Yeah.
Put a spell on the creature, but it won't have anything. So I
I'm
just sit there
curious
and
now.
watch.
And you've been having this issue, and if it's telling you to make a spell, I wonder if you're playing some alchemy deck, and that alchemy is just poop.
Yeah.
I have no idea what deck I'm playing. Whichever
Because-
one they gave me.
Well, because in real magic,
that they gave me.
in real magic, like in real paper magic, you never have a card that says "make a spell this turn," or if you ever make a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the wording is weird. That's what throws me off.
Mhm.
Right. Well, he just
Yeah,
may be
well,
calling it a spell because, you know, that's like instant sorcery artifact. Like to him, it may be a spell. But I see what you're saying there, Tortoise. That would be a little confusing because
Yep.
out of the 80,000 unique Magic cards or something, maybe it's 20,000. Out of the several tens of thousands of Magic cards, there's like maybe 20 that say interact with spell, return spell to the hand, you know, or just counter spell. But
Right.
it's usually like creature card or land or, you know, whatever.
Very true.
Yeah, because everything's a spell except for your lands.
Yeah.
Right. But like the wordage "make a spell" is just so off-putting.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
so the technical term between the colloquial term, I guess, is probably where the confusion may lie. So like we as Magic players will say, okay, we have a deck of 60 cards, has 20 lands. We can deduce that there's 40 spells in there, right?
Right. Like I wish there was a way I could see your screen when you're playing and see what you're reading, and help you
Yeah.
walk through.
Mhm.
There might be a way I could play on my phone, and we can do I don't know what they call it today, but like a Zoom. Where you,
Or were you sharing your screen?
yeah,
You sure? Yeah, that has to be off the laptop. You can't do
Yeah.
from your phone to the laptop
Yeah,
without
that's
like
unfortunate.
the program I used to use was free, but now they're charging and they block the use of it. I'm like, that's weird.
well, I wouldn't be. I'd be holding the phone up where I'm stuck, and you would have the video to watch it. But
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
we're not connected in any way.
Right.
But I think where I'm getting confused is I think every card you use is a spell. Every single one.
Yep. Everything
card-
that's gonna land. Indeed.
Everything
it's
is a
technically a
spell.
spell.
Okay. And you have spells that are greater than others.
Greater mana value.
Yeah,
Creative
so there's a
mana.
number up in the upper right hand. There'll
Yeah.
be a generic number plus like one of the 5 mana symbols, and putting that together used to be called the converted mana cost or the CMC, but that was a bit wordy for 30 years, I guess. They've recently changed it to
Never had a
mana
plan.
value.
Never had a problem calling it CMC or converted mana cost, but apparently mana
Yeah.
value was just way more efficient. Well, they did it for text box reasons.
Text box reasons, yes. I was gonna say it's probably a streamer thing too, right? It's a little not fanfare, but basically helps anybody in our industry because time is of the essence, and more words means more time. So if we say less words, we can carry on our topic faster. So it makes sense.
Right. Mhm.
Words.
Word.
Words.
I don't know if you can see that. That's a base. This is a basic land plains. So
You can have as many of those as you can have as many of those in your deck as you want.
Right.
It looks
You
like
can-
a Battle for Zendikar one. I like that full art action going on there.
You can have 100 of those in your deck. It don't matter.
I don't
You ain't
remember all the
gonna have
ones they gave
100,
them.
you ain't gonna have 100 in your deck. But I'm just saying.
Right.
You can
Right.
have-
No, you're right. You can have as many lands as you want. You can have a deck full of basic lands
Yep.
if you want. But I wouldn't suggest it unless there was some molecular strategy behind it.
Right.
So what's the meaning of planes? Is that just
It's the
What's the
type of
card?
land. So it taps to add a white mana to your mana pool. See, planes taps for a white mana, that little star looking symbol, and when you
Yeah.
tap it, it creates a white mana. That signifies it's creating white mana. That white mana is only cared for in the converted mana cost or an activated ability, which we're not going to get
Okay.
too far in right now. But the converted mana cost, like Kaalia, costs 1 white, 1 red, 1 black. You need 1 white mana from a plains to help cast that card. You need 1 black mana from a swamp to help cast that card. You need 1 red mana from a mountain to cast that card. All right? Same kind of
Right.
card, just different arts.
Yep.
Okay, but one has the big sun on it.
You're right. So they're the same card.
That's the same card as a basic mana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Tortoise,
I-
you want to know what might help this situation along is
What?
maybe, just a suggestion, maybe pull up a couple cards, sample cards, present on your screen here via StreamYard, and then we can kind of break down a card. That might be helpful.
All right.
Mhm.
All right, we can do that, but really quick. Let's shout out cardsartopia.com for sweet Magic the Gathering swag, dice bags, dice boxes, some lapel pins that are pretty cool, like this one, like that one, the salty one, boop, boop, my favorite. Yes, cardsartopia.com, there for you to get some sweet, awesome stuff. Go check it out. And I just closed this card, this thing. Let's go to Scryfall. So, what's a good card? We did Kaalia earlier. So let's just pull up Kaalia. So I have I've been saving all the cards of the day. Boom. There. Quarter calling. That's too complicated. Where's Kaalia? Oh, here we go.
My man, can you go back to that Azorius Guildmage real quick, please?
Yeah. Boom.
All right, thank you. All right. So this is actually kind of important because as an upcoming Magic player, knowing the mechanics is very crucial. And one of the mechanics is it doesn't spell itself out, right? Like other stuff, when this happens, X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess I accidentally started backwards. So what I was building up to is we're going to start in the middle, the text box. So not the name up top, not the middle title, Creature Vidalcan Wizard, but right below Creature is in that white section we call the text box.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you'll see 2 lines of abilities there.
Yeah.
They're separated by sentence. So the main thing that I was trying to explain here is that this card has has 2 abilities, and they're both not mana abilities, but they are activated abilities, and you can tell by the colons. So it'll say that 2 generic, the white plains. So it's a 3 mana ability with a colon, and that colon signifies that you as the owner can activate that at instant speed. So whenever you feel the desire to use that ability and you have that card, you can use that ability.
It's like casting a instant for 3, for 2, and a white.
Yeah, for the ability that is.
Yeah.
Right.
The mana abilities can't be targeted. So what's that?
Oh,
mean?
are you reading off the spell there? Counter target activated ability. You know what's great is that what we're reading right now are activated abilities. And yeah, I basically just explained that because it has the mana value followed by a colon plus the effect. And so technically you could use the tap target creature ability and put it on the stack, pass all the priority around, or maybe hold priority, whatever the hell, and then counter your own activated ability. Yeah. I'm gonna tap it.
That's true.
Psych!
6 mana to do nothing. Ta-da!
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That's
Mhm.
hilarious.
Yeah, that is
That may have been a little bit complicated and much to process, but
But an
essentially,
activated ability. An activated
really
ability
important to
is
know.
each of those abilities on the card.
yeah,
okay.
and they're different from tap abilities.
Hmm.
So you could
Yeah.
actually target other players and then come back and reverse that.
If you want. If you pay 3 to
Yeah.
tap target creature, you can pay 3 additional to counter that tap target creature ability.
Nah. Oh, this would probably be a most likely scenario with that use. Say it's your turn.
Mhm.
You want to activate the top ability. So you choose somebody else's creature to tap, and a different person, or maybe that targeted person, responds to you and counters your action with their activated ability. But bada bing, bada boom, your Azorius Guildmage just countered their reaction to your stuff, and that original tap target creature will follow through.
Right.
So,
Right.
Wow.
Oh, and as I explained yesterday, Daddy, or
like
a
layers.
couple days ago, the mana symbols on here where it shows a white and a blue and a white and a blue,
Yeah.
those mana symbols means you can pay either a white and a blue for each pip. The pip is each mana symbol on the
Oh, I
converted
see.
mana cost.
I see the top of the card. It's a half
Yep.
white.
You pay
Oh,
two
yeah, you
whites.
can't see
Yeah,
my
you
mouse.
pay 2 whites or 2 blues or a white and a blue.
Or a blue
They
and
call it
white
hybrid.
hybrid.
But this card's
Uh-oh.
a blue. This card's a blue and a white, right?
That's
Yeah,
correct.
it's an Azorius colored card, blue and white.
Hello,
Tybalt.
Tybalt.
Hello, hello. Better late than never, I guess.
Hey, that makes
You're on a little
two.
extra.
Yeah,
You can
hey,
be on a little
that's all
extra
right.
longer today.
So, how's it going? I'm excited to see the topic here today.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Cookie Dude's got some cards now to actually hold. That helps me
Yeah.
understand the cards so much more when I hold it in my hand.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
tell me everything. You can
Yeah.
explain every part of a card to me, but unless I'm holding it in my hand and looking at it, it doesn't really sink in for me anyhow.
Yep.
I will be back. I need to refill my coffee. I'm gonna blow
Oh, you want to give me
some.
a cup too?
Yeah.
Low
You give
key,
me
you
some
do that.
too?
No cream, no sugar.
You left the
All
card
right.
up there.
All right, I'm actually gonna refill my coffee really quick, and then I'll come back to comment more on these cards and break them down. But to before I go, Sybil, like you were
Mhm.
saying, man, if having the cards in hand, so helpful. That's why I was mentioning like maybe 10 minutes ago to Tortoise that having a card, pulling it up for, as an infographic might help Coogee Dude's understanding. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've been at the LGS and listen, man, I like people getting excited about their stuff, but some rando will be like, "Oh yeah," noticing that I was talking about the same card of theirs, and they're like, "Oh, but did you know this combo that goes with this and then that and then that?" And I'm like, my brain
Yeah.
fizzles out for a second.
Just kind of shorts out, and I ask them like, "Where can I find that combo printed? Is it on
Yeah.
EDH Rec? Is it on? Where can I find that and see it?"
Is this a known thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Right,
Coogie Dude, so
right
are the
back.
cards starting to make a little bit of sense to you? Is it kind of now that you have some to hold and look at?
Little bit, not.
Little.
I mean, the
It-
easy cards. Like
yeah.
this card that's in front of us. This one, they explained it to me, and it's kind of confusing still.
Okay, well,
Uh,
the main thing to think about is that like you don't have to learn this all today or in the next few minutes or whatever. That I'm still coming across cards myself that how does that work? And even when I know and I'm at the game store and I'm playing with people and stuff, I'll still ask how does that work again? What do you do to get this to affect that and whatever? So it's a learning process. So don't get overwhelmed if you
Let's say you got
Well-
let's say you got one creature out on the battlefield. I got this creature on my side of the battlefield, and I got another creature on my side of the battlefield. Then after I play this on the battlefield, I paid 2 and a white. Tap your creature, so it taps, and then then you won't then that'll keep you from being able to block my other creature from coming in and attacking.
So I would back up even a little bit further and point out that tapping a creature, Cookie Dude, is a way to think of that is it's exhausted. It's been used up. It's incapable, generally speaking, of doing more things. So when you tap a creature, you've kind of spent its essence or spent its energy, or I don't know how you want to look at that. But if you just kind of think of it as like it's tapped out, it can't really do as much.
So
some things. Oh, go ahead.
So if you tap it, you turn it sideways, that means it's no good.
That means
Right.
it generally can't be used for anything else or whatever. Yeah, it's spent.
Yeah, it's no good. It's no good till your turn.
Yep, until you can untap it again.
And
Tortoise
how do you
is muted.
untap it?
Yep, he's mute.
You're muted, my son.
Still muted. Still muted, Tortoise.
Looks like he's saying stuff really important too. What the heck?
Yeah.
We're losing it all.
Yeah.
That's funny. I had them muted on here on accident on StreamYard, and I had my mic muted as well. I was muted twice.
Mute.
But anyways, what I was saying is you have an untap step at the beginning of your turn. So every turn when you tap a creature, it's saying you use this creature, and it can't be used until the next time it's untapped.
Okay, but how do you untap it? I mean, you just
It will
Tap
untap automatically at the beginning of your turn.
so it automatically go into play mode, right?
Right.
So,
then you
like
can
at the beginning of your turn, you'll reset your board to be ready for your turn. You'll untap all your creatures. You'll untap all your lands. You'll draw a card, and later on, you'll learn the more specifics about it because there's more to it. But that's simple.
Right.
You'll draw your card because you get to draw a card once each turn for free, and then you'll be ready to play your turn. Then, as you play your turn, you'll tap creatures to attack. Sometimes you'll tap a creature to add mana, or you'll tap a creature to activate an ability. And that creature, if it's tapped, cannot block. If it's attacked, it cannot attack again. It's used.
Okay. So I kind of understand that.
Right.
So,
So like when Tabal said to think of it as exhausted, you've used that card for the turn. It's tapped sideways to show that it has been used. It's a visual indicator saying it has been used.
so that means it's exhausted for just one turn, but when it comes around again to my turn, well, after I play my cards and it's tapped, and then it goes around the next guy, I set my board to ready to go again, and I can untap all tapped.
Yes, when it comes back to your turn.
Yes.
What about the
The
land?
old summoning sickness.
Yeah. Well, we haven't got to that yet.
Right.
Yeah. So, what's the difference between the plains and the swamp? Nothing.
Plains adds a white mana. A swamp adds a black mana. Like you see the card on the screen where it says one colorless or one generic, one red, one fireball, one star, white star, one black skull. Right? That's one mountain.
Right.
One red comes from a mountain. That's one white that comes from a plains. That's one black that comes from a swamp. The color of the basic lands or the color of the lands help indicate the color of the spells you can cast. So if you have 4 mana, one a mountain, one a plains, one a swamp, you can cast Kaalia from your command zone.
Basically, you're basically just going to visually match the card. The cost across the top of the card tells you what you need to pay that. So if you have something that produces a skull, like the swamp has a skull on it or at the bottom of it or what have you, you know that you'll need one black. You'll need one of those. So you'll tap that sideways. You'll exhaust it. You'll spend that land. Then you'll see a plains. You'll see that sun there. And that matches the plains, the symbol on the plains. So you'll tap that. So you'll exhaust that land to fulfill that cost. and then the mountain, or the fireball there, whatever that is, you'll tap a mountain to match that, and then one of anything else that you have that produces mana can be filled in that one. So you'll tap those 4 things. So you'll exhaust all 4 of those, and then you'll announce to the table, I'm going to play my Kaalia the Vast.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll put that down. That's casting a card from your hand.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
well,
I'm not sure if anybody mentioned this to QG Dude, but like this is maybe a wrong number, but 8 out of 10 lands are 1-to-1 mana producers, right? So if you have 1 forest, it's gonna make 1 green mana, not 2, not 3, not 4. So I don't know if anybody put that idea out there to QG Dude, but that may help with lands to mana ratio in his math.
okay.
Right.
So, well, I'm just trying to think when I'm playing Arena. So Commander and Arena, they're different, right?
Yeah.
Basically,
It's the same kind of Magic, different style.
Right. These rules that you're
that's what I mean.
learning, these
Are
rules
you-
you're learning are going to be the same for each game that you play. These basic set of rules are going to be the same. So you would do the same thing in Arena. You would tap your land, you would tap it, you would exhaust it or spend it, and you would match that to the symbols across the top of the card to allow you to play it. That would tell you what you would need to spend to play it. So that's going to be all through Magic. All variations of Magic are going to have these same basic rules set to start with.
Right.
Oh,
Could I make a creative comparison real quick? I just thought of it in my brain here. Magic, like generic Magic versus Commander, may be thought of as football versus rugby. Maybe that's a stretch there. It's both pigskin, sweaty, fucking people doing their thing, passing the ball back and forth, but there's a couple nuances to the game that are different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a stretch of a comparison. I need to drink more coffee.
Yeah, drink some more coffee. Because you can say that one thing you can say that rugby and football, the balls are different.
Oh, they are actually different.
Yes, they're actually different. So
okay.
But that was a good comparison because they're both football, but they have different rules. And
they use different pieces and different equipment to achieve different effects, but they have the same goal of moving that ball from one to the other.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Tibble.
Yeah.
Yes. Good job there. So, land. I'm so confused on these lands.
Like what lands are you confused on?
Well, some have text, some don't. Some have.
All right, hold on. Let me blow you up so you can show us a couple examples.
Okay. So this is the land. It's Mybrid. I don't know if you can get it.
Myriad Landscape.
Oh, Myriad Landscape.
Yeah. So beautiful that art. Land, as you read the text and as you get familiar with the game, is a colorless land. It taps to add a colorless for that generic mana cost. But there's an activated ability on there to help fix your basic mana.
So this is to help you fix your basic mana.
So that's just a fancy way of saying that it allows you to pay costs throughout the deck a little bit easier, because as you'll get into this, you'll notice that cards have different CMCs. We've talked about that, but you're going to have mixes of red cards and blue cards. You're going to have mixes of black cards and white cards, and you're going to need the appropriate mana to cast those. You're going to need the appropriate energy to fill that to fulfill that cost. So sometimes it can be hard if you're playing a deck that's mostly blue or mostly black or mostly one color. A lot of times you'll get stuck because you won't be able to fulfill those symbols. Like we talked about with Kaalia the Vast, how you need a swamp, a plains, and a red. You're going to need to fill those things. You may not have those things in hand. So what Superfast is saying is that card will allow you or will help you along the way to get those right colors to fix it, to fix your mana, to fix it so that it works correctly.
That is
or
correct.
to fix it for your commander.
To fix it for you personally to be able to play your deck well, because
Right.
otherwise you're going to be stuck. So you want to fix things so that you play smoothly. And I am making a ridiculous amount of gestures that nobody can see.
He's Italian off screen.
Exactly. My hands are going
my hands.
everywhere,
Oh.
and I'm looking at him and going, "Nobody is seeing this." So anyhow, sorry.
That's awesome.
You're
Oh
good.
my goodness, where did the time go, guys?
Yeah.
I told you we could stay on a little extra today
Oh, nice.
because we missed a Wednesday, so we got a little extra time to burn.
Cool.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Okay. All right.
I mean, if
So-
anybody has to leave, just let us know.
All right.
I'm just chilling.
All right.
Yep.
But I figured since Dad got his new deck and he wants to ask questions, and gracefully, we got Hillbilly TCG Dude and Tabal to jump on.
I know. I'm spoiled.
I'm more than happy to help where I can.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If I may
Well-
ask, what's the deck name, right? Because it's a pre-con, I'm assuming?
No, it's not a pre-con. I built it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Oh,
built it and tried putting
nice.
in pre-con cards in it, like style cards.
Okay.
And
Cool.
I was gonna put the list on the internet so we could look at it, but the wife wanted to send it off before I could do that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Like, not our problem. It's just she's like, we want to ship it out as soon as possible.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, man. The post office is everywhere about to be backed up all month.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
Okay, Mirrored
question.
Landscape, Temple of False Gods. These are all lands.
Yeah.
Oh, so that Temple of False God brings up a good thing that TCG Dude was talking about, that that can give you extra mana. So normally, as he mentioned, like 80% of the lands give you 1-to-1 ratio of producing energy. That
Right.
Temple of False God produces extra energy. It gives you 2 instead of 1,
Yes.
but it has the restriction of having to have 5 land cards on the battlefield. Now
That's
it counts itself as 1, but it won't produce any mana unless you have a total of 5 lands, including itself.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it says, yeah, okay. Yeah, see, that's so this one is white. Let's see if I can do it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a white.
It's a white and it's 1 mana.
Yep.
Okay, and it's a land, and you put it onto the field. So you got to play a land every time it's your turn, correct?
1 land per
Right.
turn unless you have something that breaks that rule.
Yep.
Okay. Unless it breaks that rule. All right.
Yeah. So just to make things a little bit more confusing, the rules
you.
are set. The rules are set in stone until they aren't. The card always, if the card breaks the rule, you defer to what the card says. So if the card says you can play an extra land per turn, well, everybody else is limited to 1 land, but you've got something now that says you can put an extra one down.
That's
So
right.
Yeah.
the card trumps the rules, basically. If that makes sense.
Wow. Yeah.
It can.
So there's a rule that says 1 land, but
one-
if you have a card like this Temple of Gods, you can't play 5 lands at a time, but you could play it once there are 5
Yeah.
lands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you pull it up and you just keep it in your hand until you can play it?
Yep.
Unless you have no other lands to play, then you'll put it down and you'll just like, well, I can't use this yet, but there's my 1 land per turn. I've gotten in the habit. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you do this, maybe not, but I've gotten the habit now of announcing when I play land for turn, and I'll immediately forget like 5 minutes later, and I wind up asking somebody else, "Did you hear me say land for turn?"
Right.
And they did. They're like, "Oh yes, you did play a land." Like, "Oh okay, sorry." I just, you get excited when you start playing cards. So
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
get lost in the sauce a little bit.
A little saucy sauce. Hell yeah.
So basic land with the fireball, that's a red card, a red
Mhm.
land, right?
Yeah.
that's a mountain.
And so you can play this, put it on your land, and it's worth 1 mana,
Yes.
and it's a
Yeah.
mountain.
I was going to say that's a good point. Going back to what TCG Dude was saying earlier, again, by looking at the middle of the card, it will tell you what that is. So when you look at it, it will tell you that fireball or that water drop or whatever, that's an island. If you look in the middle of the card, it will announce to you what it is. So even the myriad landscape, it's a land card, so it counts towards your 1 per turn. The Temple of the False God announces in the middle of the card that it's a land. So again, you're restricted to 1 of those per turn unless you aren't.
Hell yeah. That's right.
Hell
He got some
yeah.
cool art in there for spiffiness, but like the middle of the card, it will say basic land plains or basic land swamp or basic land mountain. And when you get familiar with the word mountain, plains, and swamp, you'll start affiliating them with their colors. Like a swamp taps for black, a mountain taps for red, a plains taps for white, and it'll be one of the easiest things you pick up right away because you'll be using it so much.
Sure. Yeah.
Right, like playing
Okay,
guitar, you know, it's like, oh yeah, hit that E string, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh boy. Realm, cloak, giant. So sorcery. Now, what's sorcery do?
A sorcery is a non-permanent spell. A permanent is a card that enters the battlefield and stays on the battlefield. A non-permanent spell is a spell once you cast it, after the ability is resolved, it goes immediately into the graveyard. So a sorcery is a spell, non-permanent spell, that can be cast only during your turn.
Only during my. So once a land goes on the board, it's a permanent. Lands
Yeah,
are
it's permanent.
Yep.
It's permanent. Yep. They say permanent to give you they like lands, creatures, planeswalkers, artifacts, enchantments. They're all permanents. They call them permanents because they stay on the board until something changes that permanent. Like if they destroy it, remove it from the game, it stays on the battlefield unless something else says to do different.
Okay, now this is a creature card, giant. It's 5 mana plus 2 white. So is it a white card?
5, 6, 7.
Yes.
Let me see here. Sorry about this.
Yeah, forgot that card was in there. That is specifically for a learning curve card. Because it has an adventure ability. There's only one adventure ability in that card or in that deck. Because I tried keeping it simple, but with the way Magic works nowadays, it's kind of gotten complicated. So I tried making it as simple as possible, where there's going to be like Magic kind of has a steep learning curve, but it's easy to play, easy to pick up. And that adventure ability will be explained later as saying works as a instant sorcery spell, bearing what it says on the little book side there. Then it gives you that effect. Then you can play that card for this other side of the book as from the adventure ability. But now
it's essentially 2 cards in one, and you get to play 1 half now and 1 half later if you do the adventure side first.
Right. And I figured if we were playing a game, and like you and I were playing a game, and we're kind of showing each other's hands and whatnot, I can walk you through that kind of stuff, because there are some things that are just naturally part of the game now that are just naturally complicated, and it's hard to learn just by looking at the card.
Yeah, this one seems pretty complicated.
Wow.
So
Yeah, it's one of those things where it used to be if you read the card, it explained to you what it's done. But they've gone so complicated these days that adage doesn't even necessarily apply.
Right.
Because there's so many subtle rules and stuff that have been added over the years, and so many subtle keywords and changes that have been made, that I really do feel like, well, I'm going to sound like I'm bagging on them now, but I was going to say, I feel like the designers have kind of forgotten, because they've been there the whole time. They keep talking about wanting to include everybody in Magic and stuff. but yet they keep designing these cards that are more and more complicated. And I know they do that to sell cards and so on and so forth. We won't discuss that, but
Right.
it used to. But yeah, so you used to be able to read the card stuff. These days, it's best if you got somebody there that's willing, and you're almost always going to find somebody that's willing to help
Right.
you along with these.
And
Okay.
I believe that giant is specifically in that deck because it was like one of the available board wipes I had for the deck.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
why I've been a
what-
proponent through this whole process of Kuji Dude doing arena, and I'm really happy to hear that you've given it, some attempts. Sorry to hear you've kind of been stonewalled there, but like, yeah, the progression of learning the game definitely helps when it's not railroaded, but like how you have bumpers at the at bowling, right?
Mhm.
In
Yeah,
bowling
right.
league. Yeah, being online helps with bumpers essentially because it remembers all the triggers and the rules
Mhm.
effects, and it'll say, "Hey, you can't do that," very politely.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I get the spot where it says end turn or end, and I push that because I'm stuck. And then it said you need to cast a spell before, and I have nothing. I don't know what cards to cast a spell. I know you need a land and a creature.
So
And I had a
anything
land
coming from your
creature.
hand, anything that actually exits your hand to the battlefield is considered a spell. So when you first put down a artifact, even though it's a stone, it's an item, it's whatever it is, it's an actual physical thing that's going to go onto your battlefield. When you play that from your hand, when you tap mana to move that from your hand to the battlefield, and again with my hands, anyhow, when you move from one thing to the other, that's casting a spell. So anything that comes out of your hand, anything that you spent mana for, is a spell when it moves from the hand to the battlefield.
Okay. And then all right. So okay, so move from the hand to that's a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do I get out of that? I mean, if it says I can't go, I need a spell and I can't. I touch the card, and then I try to put it on the battlefield, and it won't let me do that. It sucks it right back into my.
So perhaps they're looking for you without actually seeing the example. I'm not sure, but I'm imagining that maybe it's waiting for you to tap your land first. Because generally what happens, again, if you think of mana and tapping lands and stuff as being energy, you're going to release the energy from those lands by tapping them, and that's going to go into your mana pool. It's going to be held in reserve in a pool until you then say what you're going to do with it.
Oh yeah.
So in this case, perhaps what the game is waiting for you to do is waiting for you to tap your lands first to let it know then that you're going to play something from your hand. So if it's telling you can't go forward with that, it's probably because you need to tap your lands first, release that energy, and then spend it on whatever you're wanting to put from your hand to the battlefield.
Yeah.
That was a fair explanation, but I feel like saying, this is why I'm a chef and not a customer service rep over the phone, because I'd be ripping my hair out.
Right. What was it?
Yeah.
Like another thing that's important to do in the game, like arena, is I always like to count the lands I have on the battlefield and try to match those lands to what I have in my hand to see what I can play. So lands tell you how big of a spell you can play, and you want to match your hands to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, I'll keep on going on, and then maybe one day I can set up a camera and one of you guys, mainly super fast, he can see what I'm doing, or and
Right. Like once you start playing the game, it'll be easier to pick up all the weird things we're saying. It won't sound so alien to you,
Alien. That's it. It sounds like Chinese to me right now.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming, man.
Yeah.
Like
But
I'm still like feeling new, and I'm 20 years almost into the game.
wow.
Yeah. 30 years
Just
in, I'm
think.
still learning the stack.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Always
I'm trying
learning.
to
Always learning something. There's
Yeah.
always
think-
something to learn.
I understand that. Always learning. Well, that's awesome. So, hey, I got a question. What's an artifact land?
It's a land
two
that counts as an artifact. Don't put too much into it, like thought into it.
Okay.
Just 2 types.
Yep.
Okay. So I got to learn all the types of cards and what they're
That-
good. But you don't have a choice of what card to play. You just got to play what's in your hand, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, this
that's
is
right.
America. You always have a choice, sir. I'm just kidding.
I said I want ham on my grilled cheese, and I'm going to have ham. Damn it!
All right. Oh, Dad.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna have to be closing the stream soon, anyways.
Yes.
Why don't you put that deck away and show off that fancy playmat that I sent you? That's old school cool.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
Yeah,
Do it,
this
do
is
it.
one of my favorite cards from back in the Theros days. It's not from Theros.
Ooh.
Ah, nice.
The old
Nice.
banishing priest.
That's right.
That's pretty
Very
cool.
cool.
That was my first playmat that I got when I moved to Iowa.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Ooh, and it has that official Wizards logo, the old Wizards logo. That's dope.
That's a vintage collectible right there.
Yeah, I love it.
Nice.
I love
Very
it.
cool.
That's
I need
that's
it.
for you to play your cards on.
Oh yeah, I figured that.
Right?
Okay.
All right.
I just got
I'm not going to go through stocks today, or not stocks, movers and shakers today. Today was a big day, a lot of information, a lot of things for Dad to catch up on. Anybody want to say anything in particular accordance to being near the end of the show?
It's been fun.
Have fun.
Yeah, it's been a good time. I still want to encourage anybody that hasn't come on over and subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm still pushing. I'm getting closer to that 500 mark.
Oh, yeah.
But that's my next goal is get to 500 followers on YouTube.
Heck
Nice.
yeah.
Chat. Yeah. Oh, so I put it in twice now.
Cool.
How about TCG, dude? You want to say anything before we close out?
Yeah, actually. I've had kind of a really crazy week this week, and I don't want to get way too into it and be all sappy or whatever, but I lost a friend this last week, and I found out a couple days after his passing.
Oh.
And I found out yesterday, and you know,
Done
when
with
I did this year, like at the beginning of this year, I also lost a friend. So I had 2 friends, and I don't lose people very often. Like this is kind of like new to me, right?
Mhm.
My family somehow stayed alive for very long, or if they passed, I wasn't very well connected to them. Anywho's, yeah, bro. Like I made 3 goals this year, and because I was motivated by everything happening. 1 is to be good.
Right.
2 is to make some money. And
Mhm.
3, immortalize. And now I know that sounds a little weird, right? But us even live streaming right now, we're technically doing immortalization in some fashion because our faces, our voices, our thoughts are going to be recorded. And somehow 200 years later, the AI is going to take our ideas and make it an original cool paper for some punk in high school, writing a paper on magic.
Right.
For sure.
So yeah, just
Definitely.
love yourself, love people around you, and just make the best of what you got, man.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry you lost a friend this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I lost a friend
Sorry
last
for
year.
your loss.
So, yeah,
Thanks,
so
guys. I
know.
appreciate it.
And
Yeah, you have a good attitude about it, and I hope what you're connected to gets rolls over well with everybody because it's not always easy. And we appreciate you being here and standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
know,
absolutely. That's
yeah,
that's
but
part of
that-
why I was late, to be honest with you. I was kind of up, just kind of doom scrolling all night until about 3 a.m. I was like, oh god, I have a show in the morning. I need to go to sleep.
No.
Uh-huh.
Well, just I had lost a friend a couple years ago, and we were friends for over 50 years. We knew each other
wow.
in elementary, so I know what you're going through, but I made it through. I just remembered all the good times that we had, and
Yeah.
that's all I remember is the good times.
Good times. Make the
times.
best of us. That's
Yes,
right.
I'm sorry for your loss, TC, dude.
I appreciate
TCT,
that, y'all.
dude.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing my best to stay up, man. Like, it's kind of the circle of life, not to be so basic about it, but my
Yeah.
time will come too. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make the best of it while I'm here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And remember,
right.
take care of yourself first, though. Too, if you ever don't feel that you're obligated to do anything. Though I know Superfast likes having you and everything else, but like if you ever need to miss, just let us know. I think we'll all be here to talk to you. And if you
Yeah.
can't make it, you can't make it. But I'm glad that you did.
Yeah.
Like,
we're all
like
Thanks,
my
glad
wife,
you
my wife told me once during a situation similar. If you need to punch a hole in the wall's fixable. Punch a hole in the wall.
Indeed.
All right, we got Spackle for that.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for liking the show. Sorry, Savannah Lions. It's at the end of the show, but we appreciate that you dropped it because I always love having you here. Thank you, James Willis, for being here. Everybody showed up. Darc Raven. Everybody. You're awesome.
Yeah.
You're amazing. And never
I just
forget.
want to say.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for Magic the Gathering and other content for evil fun.
Fear not, Megatron. Cybertron